Coming up on Look Today, well, an investigation into a murder-suicide continues as police are waiting on DNA tests to confirm the identity of the victim. I have the latest. Plus, the U.S. Mint introduces its new quarter, honoring the British surrender after the Battle of Saratoga, and our cameras are on the scene. Not at the Battle of Saratoga. And Saratoga Springs Music Department received $25,000 worth of new instruments, and I'm joined by members of the group coming up later in the broadcast. And it's all ahead on Look Today. Welcome everyone, I'm J. Hood Jackson and this is Look Today. Well, in tonight's program, we interview Susan Crossett about how your small business could be spending too much on energy. And members of the Saratoga Springs High School music program are here, and they're going to talk about winning $25,000 worth of new instruments. Plus, your weather for the Tri-North counties. But first, these headline stories. Well, in our lead story, the Warren County Sheriff's Office is still waiting for DNA results to confirm the death of Kristen Barnes in last week's murder-suicide. Police have no reason to believe that the victim is not Kristen Barnes, but due to the extent of the injuries, the forensic pathologist was not able to confirm it. Police said that Barnes had moved out of the home and had gone to retrieve her items when David Barnes shot and killed her. Well, their 20-year-old daughter was at home at the time and ran to a neighbor's house to call police. Barnes owned and operated Aquawood Pools and Spas in Moreau. Now, the business has remained closed since the shootings. Well, changing from news to weather. While temperatures remain cool, it was a sunny day throughout the region. Now, will this nice weather continue? Well, for the latest, let's head to our Glens Falls Weather Center for a look at your first forecast. Now back to the news. Well, New York has a new quarter, and it honors one of the most significant events in history. The quarter honors the Saratoga National Historic Park, where the British surrendered in 1777. The image on the back of the coin shows British General John Burgoyne handing a sword to General Horatio Gates. The coin was launched this morning at Schuylerville High School, just a few miles away from the Revolutionary War battlefield. Acting Quality Manager of U.S. Mint, Ronald Harrigal, discussed the new coin.
This is a second program that was building on the success of the first to honor our national parks and treasures.
Now, the quarter is the 30th state quarter to be issued by the U.S. Mint. Many Americans, by the way, consider the victory in the Battle of Saratoga to be the turning point of the war. In other news, State Forest Rangers are continuing the search for a missing hunter in Horicon. Rangers were searching an area around Lily Pond Road for 82-year-old Thomas Messick. Messick was supposed to meet the group he was with at 2 p.m. on Sunday, just south of Brant Lake, but he never showed up. Well, State DEC spokesman David Winchell said that the Rangers were being assisted by 34 volunteers and representatives from the state's Homeland Security. Messick was in camouflage gear and red and black flannel. Also in the news, the Magic Forest parking lot in Lake George is full, despite the fact that the park is closed for the winter. Well, why? Several boats and a recreational vehicle have been parked in the lot, and it has Lake George officials very unhappy. Lake George Supervisor Dennis Dickinson said that a permit is needed to store more than 2 boats on a property. Well, Magic Forest owner Jack Gillette says that the boats are from Smith Boys dealership in Queensbury, and the owners needed a spot while they moved the business to Lake George. Dickinson calls the boats an eyesore. Gillette says that the boats will be parked there through the winter and that he will seek a variance from the town if it's an issue. However, Dickinson believes that the boats are there to keep snowmobilers out of the parking lot. Warren County officials recently permitted snowmobilers to use the bike trails. Now, what do you think about all this? You can head to our social media pages to share your thoughts with us. Well, still to come. Is your business spending too much on energy? Well, Susan Crossett joins me to discuss ways you could be cutting costs. Plus, members of the Saratoga Springs High School Music Program join us to discuss winning $25,000 worth of musical instruments. But first, if you see news happening, you want to share a story idea, or join us for an interview, give us a call on the hotline. The number is 798-8000.